Hi, I'm Diane Harmon.
And I'm Brendan Lowe, and welcome to the first episode of CCSD News and Review. Over the coming weeks and months, Diane and I and our entire CCSD team will use this newscast as an opportunity to share even more information with families and residents and celebrate the great work happening in our schools.
Our lead story today is the kickoff of the 2014-15 school year. On September 2nd, the first day of school, 6 schools received special visits by Superintendent Payman Rohanafard, Mayor Dana Red, and the Advisory Board of Education. H.B. Wilson, the Early Childhood Development Center, Forest Hill, Camden High, Med-East, and Caddo. Not only was it a joyous day for the kids and their parents, but it also marked the highest pre-K enrollment in the district's history. Officials kicked off the school year in high spirits.
Well, over the summer we had a really positive conversation about what makes a great school, and just hearing from different community leaders, families, students about what are the ingredients that are most important to them, and that was certainly very informative.
Well, as the mayor of Camden, I'm really excited about the 2014-2015 academic school year. I just want to encourage our children to become lifelong learners, to be really enthusiastic about education, and quite frankly, I'm very enthusiastic about education.
We're all out here today to make sure that this year is a smooth transitional period. So I just want them to all know we're all in this together.
Yeah. While visiting the Early Childhood Development Center, the superintendent joined Principal Susan Goins in celebrating the city's highest ever level of preschool enrollment. This year, 93% of all preschool eligible Camden kids are attending school, ensuring more youngsters are getting the best possible start to their education.
Shortly after the school year kicked off, Superintendent Rohanafard and Family and Community Engagement Chief Tia Morris joined the Center for Family Services Family Dinner Night for some lasagna and community conversation. Thanks to a partnership with the school district, the dinners will now be held weekly instead of bi-weekly. This change follows the late August announcement that the Camden City School District and the Center for Family Services have formed the first of 4 Camden parent partnerships. The centers are designed to give parents more resources to help their children succeed in school by offering programming that is focused on education as well as increased parent access. Parents will now have access to full service support from the district help desk for enrollment issues, as well as parenting support, adult education, career readiness, and referral services. All staff will receive training from the district that will make sure visiting parents receive important and accurate advice, information, and referrals with school-related issues and support. This partnership comes out of the Camden Commitment, Promise 4, to better serve Camden parents.
We're incredibly excited to be able to join the Center for Family Services in launching the Camden Parent Partnership here. This will be the first of 4 new district parent partnership sites across the city in order to best reach neighborhoods and community gatherings and just generally points where our families already meet, work, and live. Our goal is that these sites serve as a hub for community engagement opportunities, and the district and its community partners will offer a full range of education support services to all students and families and community members.
We're very happy to help and celebrate the launch of this Camden Parent Partnership and to tie it here to our Promise Neighborhood Family Success Center. This is kind of a dream of ours to pull together a to enrich the services here at the Family Success Center with additional parent supports to the school district, and wrap that on top of our whole Promise Neighborhood initiative here.
We've had the opportunity and pleasure of working with the Family for Family Centers as we brought them in to work with the District Parent Advisory Council in the past, and we've also brought them into Channel 19 so that they could do a program so the community could find out what services they brought. As the advisory vice president, I know the advisory board shares the superintendent and the mayor's commitment to giving Camden parents more information, advice, and support about their child's education.
Good news for students and families. All students attending a Camden City District school are now receiving free breakfast and lunch during the school year, now without their parents having to complete applications. This change helps save parents the time, hassle, and hesitation that comes with disclosing family income and other information. This program ensures that no child who lives in Camden and goes to a district school will go without 2 critical meals during the school day, getting the nutritious energy they need to stay healthy and perform their best in school. This national program, part of the federal Healthy Hunger-Free Kids Act, has increased the number of students that receive nutritious meals and has advanced outcomes of the students in the states that have already applied this program. It will look to do the same in the Camden City School District.
School is now in session for parents as well as students. Hundreds of parents headed back to school as school stayed open late on September 16th and 17th to encourage meetings between families and teachers. Superintendent Rahanafard greeted families at Molina, Kramer, East Camden Middle School, and Brim Medical Arts High School. This year, the district launched a multimedia effort to turn out more families for back-to-school nights, and by the looks of things, those efforts paid off.
Well, tonight's activity is just a meet and greet really for the parents to meet their teachers, to meet their guidance counselors, the administration. We have a number of resources here. You see that our Phi Beta Sigma fraternity is here, Education Works. So it's just an informational session for the parents. They are able to sign up their students for the mentoring program and for the Education Works program. We actually had more parents than we expected, which we always welcome. We did our raffle. We went over our policies and procedures. They were new to the building this year. Parents seemed to be very receptive of them. So I think the turnout was nice.
Building on the theme of family involvement, September also marked Dads Take Your Child to School Day. Dozens of dads, brothers, uncles, grandfathers, and father figures brought their students to school. At Dudley, Superintendent Rahanafard thanked these family members for the active roles they were playing in their children's lives.
I want to begin by just thanking each and every one of you. I spoke to a number of you outside of the building for the commitment you've shown your students in spite of challenges in your personal lives. I know many of you all are working multiple jobs and balancing a lot of things in your lives and still finding the time for your students, and I deeply appreciate that.
On September 20th, the festivities continued with the Dads Take Your Child to School Festival on the front lawn of the Creative Arts Morgan Village Academy, where lots of fun was had by all, thanks in large part to the school-based Youth Services team, which sponsored the event.
September also brought Governor Chris Christie to Camden schools, twice. Earlier in the month, the governor joined the superintendent and the mayor to welcome students back to school and ensuring they were eating healthy lunches. Later in the month, Governor Christie returned to check out one of 3 new public neighborhood schools in Camden, Revolution Primary, which serves students in the Cooper Square neighborhood. Governor Christie spoke with kindergarten students there before checking out the new building under construction across the street. Before taking off, Governor Christie visited with the Camden High football team to wish them well during their season and encourage them to continue their education after graduation. The Camden High team presented the governor with a purple and gold shirt and serenaded him with their chant, "You want the high? You got the high."
You want that? You got that! 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 You want that? You got that!
Sports is up next, but let's first review a few highlights from the summer in case you missed them. First, the district is making a $1.4 million investment to provide more than 2,300 new laptops for students and teachers this fall. This extra technology will help ensure that students will be graduating ready to thrive in a 21st century economy. In addition, the district has upgraded the internet coverage in schools that will give them more reliable and faster access to online resources. Teachers will have training opportunities as the new equipment arrives in schools this fall. The new technology upgrades will help enforce an element in the Camden Commitment's second promise for 21st century school buildings.
Also this summer, over 475 students, educators, parents, and community members shared their feedback as part of citywide outreach about what they believe makes a great school. This feedback is being collected as the district works to develop school information cards, which will share information about all Camden public schools with parents and the public. Overall, 56% of respondents said they value students receiving rich instruction from their teachers. 53% said they most value students being challenged and interested in their schoolwork. And 53% also said they value students leaving school ready to succeed in the next grade level, college, or career. Another round of feedback is coming this fall, and school information cards are expected to be released this winter.
Last but not least, security upgrades are coming to the district's 2 largest high schools, Camden High and Woodrow Wilson. Thanks to a $1.3 million investment in high-tech equipment, Hundreds of students and staff members will go to school in a more secure learning environment. Now, here's Brendan with sports.
The big story in sports is the Camden High football team, which kicked off its 2014 campaign with 3 straight victories, scoring 47 or more points in every game and limiting each opponent to no more than 14. In the first game of the season, the Panthers dominated Highland throughout the entire game, outscoring them 49-0 in just the first 3 quarters. The then 7th-ranked Panthers were led by junior standout Brad Hawkins, who was all over the field, scoring 3 total touchdowns, 2 by the air and 1 on a punt return, showing a lot of versatility on the field. Quarterback Khalil Williams commanded the offensive explosion, completing 15 of 23 passes for 222 yards and 5 passing touchdowns, while also rushing for 102 yards and adding another touchdown on the ground. To see the opponents they will face this year, log on to the Camden High School website at www.camdenhs.org for everything Panthers. Diane?
It's time now for the first Principal Profile, a new feature that will shine a light on the more than 24 educators leading district schools. First up, Dr. Davita Brockington. We sat down with Dr. Brockington at her school, Creative Arts Morgan Village Academy.
Well, I'm a product of the Philadelphia public school system. After graduating from West Philadelphia High, I went to Virginia State University in Petersburg, Virginia. I received a Bachelor of Arts in English, Mass Communications. I always wanted to be a news writer, like for the New York Times, and was editor of the newspaper at Virginia State and involved in those activities and took English, so many English courses, and I just kind of moved towards teaching English. So then I went back to school after teaching for a little while. I thought I could help students more on that level, becoming a reading specialist. So I went to St. Joseph's University and received a Master's of Science in Reading. So after that, came back, realized in Camden they weren't hiring reading specialists. So I went back to school for educational administration. I got my master's in educational administration from Cheney University. Then I realized I think I need to get my doctorate. So I went back to Widener University and received my doctorate in educational administration. I did my dissertation on performing arts and the transformation of a child through a performing arts school. I thought at the time I would never become a teacher as a young person, but then as I moved along and I did become a teacher, I think that, not saying the way that people did things wrong, but I thought I could really make a difference. I thought I could make a difference in the classroom, but then I said I could make a difference on a larger scale. So I think all of that went into the decision for me to become a principal. And for me, I became an administrator right out of teaching at Camden High School, working downtown as an administrative assistant to who at the time was director of Region 1 schools. That really wasn't my goal. I really wanted to be a vice principal. I wanted to be in the schools. But that was a good experience for me because I got to go around to all the schools, got to see how different principals ran their schools and how schools were run and things that needed to be done. So I think that gave me a firm foundation for when I did become a principal. I think over time as a leader in the school, I've changed. I've always felt that I wanted to make a difference. And I see that some things I do the same, but many things I do very differently. When dealing with students, dealing with parents, I've always had an open door policy for parents and students to come to if they had a question. But I just think it's evolved into something else, and especially since when we were at the old Creative Arts, when we had 150 students, and we were 9 through 12, I really knew every student by name in the school. And and when we first started, they were, to me, and not that the children here aren't like my children, but really they were like my children. And we took a 9th grade class and a 10th grade class, so you really got to know those students, got to know their parents, the late nights with performances and doing things with them. So it's evolved since we've merged with the old Morgan Village, and now we are a 6 through 12 school, and we've gone from 150 students to 376 students. So sometimes I feel that, and there's so many other responsibilities as an educational leader that we now have to take care of. I don't feel that I have the intimacy that way with our students. I know I talk to all of them in the hall, but I don't get to really, really know each and every student like I used to. So I do miss that. I think I've evolved as an educator. I think I'm better at it. I think I'm better at instructionally what should be going on in the classroom, what I need to do. I'm better at all of that. I'm better at looking at a student. I can pretty much look at a student and tell if something is wrong or something I need to address with them. So those types of things, I think I've evolved in that way. But I do miss really getting to know students and their parents in a more personal way. My favorite movie is The Godfather. Do you think? And I love the movie Guardians of the Galaxy. So they might not expect those kinds of, that I love sci-fi type movies, like Star Trek movies. I love them. And so they may not know that about me. And Bruce Lee was one of my favorites. So that may be something to shock some of our staff members and students to know about me, because I think I'm pretty, they probably see me as pretty low key. I never really try to I never lose my composure. I fuss if they're not in their uniform or things like that, but I'm not one to yell or scream and go over the top.
In city news, a park has popped up in front of City Hall. Mayor Dana Redd joined other city officials, including Anthony Bland from the school district, to unveil the temporary park, which will be available until the winter. The new chairs, creative art installations, and other features of the park are open to all. For our guest interview this week, we spoke with Ms. Evelyn Pagan, who has served the Molina school community for more than 4 decades. The school district recently reached a goal by placing a community school coordinator in every school, and Ms. Pagan serves as the community school coordinator at Molina.
My name is Evelyn Pagan, and I am the community school coordinator, which is a liaison between the parents, the community, and the school. So when parents need help with anything, they call it now the help desk. They come in here, and basically I'm the one that put forward the first step to whatever it is that they need. I've been here since 1973 was my first year, and actually let me rephrase that. I started in 1973 with the school system, but in 1979 was the first year where I went to community school coordinator. That's when we decided that we will have a center for parents, because they needed to go somewhere to find this different information for their child and for the family, and the family in need as of where they get to resource from, if they need social services, if they need housing, if they need the different areas. So that's where the Parent Center was created, and for that purpose. And I'm glad that they're now opening more centers for that reason. So what is that, 39, make it 39 years in that position, but in total it's 42. I was born in Puerto Rico, but I was raised at the age of 5. My mother brought me here to Camden, and I was raised at 541 Vine Street, which is a block away. And I came to this school, and like I was telling you, I'm in the school at Cooper Grant. Back then there was a school by Rutgers that was called Cooper Grant, so I went there and back and forth. And then from here we moved to East Camden, and then I attended Davis School. And then I finished my high school years in Puerto Rico. But I come in the morning and I always greet my parents outside, whether it be in the front of the school or in the back of the school. In the morning might be the back, because most of the children line up there. In the afternoon, it might be the front because they come out that way. I always ask them to please come in and join us, and that this center is here available for them, for their purpose, for anything that they need. Once I get them here, I offer them coffee, whatever, and the conversation will start. What can I help you with? Then you know I'm here to help you. We have this kind of resource available. And if I don't have it, I will get somebody for you. I have a book which refers to different resources, and if I can't help you, I will contact somebody. So I make them feel at home, and then I make them feel like family. And once you feel like family, you're gonna come over my house, right? And that's how Ms. Pagan works it. I love what I'm doing. I love the parents. I love the children. And I make it work. And I love to see, and I'm satisfied when I can help them because they're in need in one source or another, maybe housing, clothing, whatever, lack of small food, you know, help them in that way, I feel good. If I feel good, I'm sure they feel good. So it's how they feel that makes me feel good. When Olivia came to us, she spoke nothing of English, nothing. Olivia has gone a long way. She has attended our ESL classes that Rutgers offers offers the classes to us. Rutgers students come in on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and they have a group of parents. They teach them English as a second language. And she has gone a long way. She has 3 children in our school. She has learned English very well, has learned computers, has learned literature, mathematics, you name it, Olivia has learned it here at Molina. I'm so proud of her because she always has that interest of learning. If she doesn't know it, she'll ask me, Ms. Pagan, what is it? Why do you do this? And I explain it to her. And if she doesn't ask, I'll say, Olivia, you know why I'm doing this? And because I know she won't mind that I would say, you know why I'm doing this? So she's one of the ones that stands out. Yeah. What I do for fun? Wow, I garden a lot. I'm a homebody, but I garden for fun. I like to garden, work around the garden, and that's it, basically. And cook. That's my 2 entertainments. People don't find that fun, but I do, you know? Ms. Pagan's here to help everyone and anyone that is in need of anything. Don't be afraid of Ms. Pagan. She's a little kitten that looks mean, but she's come in, ask Ms. Pagan, she would try her best to help you. At any time, at any time.
For our Spanish-speaking viewers, here's a summary of the news in Spanish. En el primer día de escuela, el superintendente, la alcalde y miembros del consejo asesor visitaron varias escuelas. El Centro de Servicios para la Familia abrió uno de los 4 centros nuevos de padres en la ciudad y organizó la cena de noche semanal de la familia. Gracias a la Ley Federal de Niños Saludables sin Hambre, todos los estudiantes del distrito ahora recibirán desayuno y almuerzo gratis sin tener que aplicar. La mes de septiembre también incluyó la noche de regreso a la escuela, el Día de los Padres llevar a su hijo a la escuela y festival. y el gobernador Chris Christie vino a Camden para dar bienvenidas a los estudiantes, visitó 3 nuevas escuelas de barrio y visitó el equipo de fútbol de Camden High para desearles lo mejor durante la temporada y animarles a continuar su educación a través de la graduación. Now it's time for upcoming events in the district and the city.
Another feature of the newscast is Express Yourself, a special time for students to add their voices by sharing what is important to them. For this episode, Nala Johnson, a 12th grade student at Creative Arts Morgan Village Academy, who is also the school's Student Advisory Board representative, sat down with the CCSD-TV team.
Express yourself.
I'm Nala Johnson. I am a senior at Creative Arts Morgan Village Academy. What I strongly believe in is kindness. I strongly believe in kindness because you never know who really needs it, and you never know who's watching, you never know who's around you. For example, if some guy who's ready to commit suicide or something like that, and you just say one kind thing to him, you can save his life. Like literally, you can save his life. And sometimes if somebody's feeling down or something like that, you can just brighten them up with a little bit of kindness, and you can just help them out a lot. And also being optimistic and always seeing the better things in life. In our AP English class with my teacher, we are reading an autobiography with Dick Gregory, and he was poor. His clothes were horrible, but he was always optimistic, and he always saw the better things in life, and that's what just made him keep going and going. And I think that's really important, optimism and kindness. It's a huge moral value in everyday life and in everybody's life. You should always be kind because what goes up will come down. So what is karma? It'll keep going. So if you give whatever you give out, you'll give back in. So if you're kind to somebody, somebody will bless you one day, and maybe if you needed something, it can come back to you, and somebody will bless you, and somebody will be kind to you as well. Be kind, and that's my commentary.
Express yourself.
Thank you for watching this episode of CCSD News and Review.
If you have suggestions for future newscasts, share them with us at communications@camden.k12.nj.us. Until next time, like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and watch this video and many others on our new YouTube page. Have a great day.